What Judge Lauren uncovered during that 15-minute recess would transform an ordinary eviction case into a criminal investigation that would shake an entire city. Because the woman sitting confidently behind those legal documents wasn't just a landlord. According to the evidence now sitting inside Judge Lauren's folder, she was running a system designed to hunt vulnerable veterans for profit. When the courtroom doors reopened, the atmosphere had completely changed. The casual whispers from earlier were gone. Nobody leaned back comfortably anymore. Nobody checked their phones. Every person inside that courtroom understood they were witnessing something far bigger than a simple rent dispute. Monica Hale sat rigidly beside her attorney, her jaw tight, fingers clenched together so hard her knuckles had turned white. The confidence she walked in with had vanished. Across the room, Daniel Harper stood straighter than before, still exhausted, still grieving. But something had shifted after Emily's letter was read aloud. For the first time since entering the courtroom, he no longer looked defeated. Judge Lauren returned to the bench carrying a thick folder packed with financial records and court filings. Her expression was unreadable, cold, focused, controlled. But anyone paying attention could see the fury behind her eyes. She sat down carefully and opened the folder. "Mrs. Hale," she began calmly, "during recess, I reviewed the financial records tied to your property management company." Monica's attorney immediately stood. "Your Honor, I object. We haven't had proper discovery regarding financial." "Sit down," Judge Lauren interrupted sharply. "These are public records and court filings. Your client brought this matter into my courtroom. That means I examine anything relevant to this case." The attorney slowly lowered himself back into his chair. Judge Lauren returned her attention to Monica. "Over the last 3 years, your company collected approximately $427,000 in damage claims from veteran tenants." The courtroom reacted instantly. Monica shifted uncomfortably. "Property repairs are expensive," she said quickly. "I use licensed contractors. Maintenance costs." Judge Lauren raised a hand. "We'll discuss your contractors in a moment." She flipped another page. "Your tenants were routinely billed between $3,000 and $5,000 for relatively minor damages." She lifted several photographs. Drywall repair, carpet replacement, broken fixtures. Another page turned. "According to independent estimates, these repairs should have averaged between $800 and $1,200. Judge Lauren slowly removed another document. "Yet your preferred contractor consistently charged 4 times that amount." Monica swallowed visibly. "I hire quality professionals." Judge Lauren's expression hardened. "RB Property Restoration." She looked directly at Monica. "That company belongs to your brother, Richard Hale, correct?" The courtroom erupted into whispers. Monica's attorney lowered his head into his hands. Monica's face flushed red. "Yes, Richard is my brother," she snapped defensively. "There's nothing illegal about hiring family." Judge Lauren leaned forward slightly. "No, hiring family isn't illegal." Her voice dropped lower. "But inflating repair invoices and using fraudulent charges to target disabled veterans is." The room fell silent again. Judge Lauren spoke slowly now, making sure every word landed. "Let me explain exactly how your operation appears to function." Monica stared silently at the bench. "You advertise patriotic housing for veterans." Another page turned. "You attract military families struggling financially or emotionally after service." Another. "You offer lower rent than surrounding complexes." Another. "They move in believing they finally found stability." Judge Lauren looked up. Then the documentation begins. Noise complaints, lease warnings, minor damage reports, photographs, paper trails. You build case files against them over several months. The judge paused briefly. Then around month 8 or 9, enormous repair bills suddenly appear. She held up contractor invoices. "Bills created through your brother's company." Another pause. When the tenants can't afford thousands of dollars in exaggerated repair charges. Her eyes narrowed. You evict them. The courtroom remained dead silent. You keep the security deposits. You send the debt to collections. You destroy their credit. And then you rent the unit to another vulnerable veteran and repeat the cycle. Judge Lauren slowly closed the folder. 23 veteran families in 3 years. Monica's attorney stood again. These accusations are outrageous and unsupported. Sit down, Judge Lauren snapped. Your client's own financial records support them perfectly. The attorney sat back down immediately. Judge Lauren picked up another document. According to tax filings, your company collected over $400,000 in damage-related claims. Another paper lifted. But records show your brother's company completed less than $20,000 in actual repairs. The courtroom exploded with whispers again. Judge Lauren's voice sharpened. So where did the remaining money go, Mrs. Hale? Monica's lips parted slightly, but no answer came. Judge Lauren turned another page. Now let's discuss Daniel Harper specifically. Daniel slowly lifted his eyes. He moved into your complex 11 months after you evicted his daughter. Monica remained silent. Did you know who he was when his application came across your desk? I process many tenants, Monica answered carefully. I don't memorize every application. Judge Lauren stared at her. You expect this court to believe you forgot evicting a terminally ill veteran? No response. And then, less than a year later, her father applied for housing at the same property, using the same last name. Still silence, Judge Lauren leaned forward. You knew exactly who he was. Monica shook her head immediately. That's not true. You targeted him deliberately. No. Yes. Judge Lauren's voice grew colder with every word. You saw an elderly homeless veteran suffering from PTSD and isolation. Another pause. You believed he would be easy to manipulate. Daniel suddenly spoke. His voice sounded stronger now. When I moved in, she told me she remembered Emily. The courtroom turned toward him. Daniel swallowed hard. She said she felt terrible about what happened to my daughter. His eyes filled again. She told me she wanted to help me start over. Judge Lauren looked at him quietly. Mr. Harper, she wasn't helping you. Daniel lowered his head. She was preparing another victim. Monica suddenly stood up. This is insane, she shouted. I run a legal business. If tenants destroy property, they pay for repairs. That's how rentals work. Judge Lauren's voice sliced through the courtroom instantly. Sit down, Monica froze. I am not finished with you. At that exact moment, movement came from the back of the gallery. A man slowly rose from his seat. Your Honor, he called out carefully. May I speak? Judge Lauren looked toward him. State your name. Victor Ramirez. The man limped slightly as he stepped forward, using a cane for support. I'm a Navy veteran, he continued, and I used to live at Patriot Terrace Apartments. Judge Lauren gestured toward the witness area. Come forward, Mr. Ramirez. Victor approached the stand slowly. Once seated, he looked directly at Monica, then toward Judge Lauren. Everything you described, he said firmly. She did the same thing to me. The courtroom became silent again. Victor continued. I moved into her property in 2022. 8 months later, she charged me $3,500 for unauthorized modifications. Judge Lauren frowned. What modifications? Victor lifted his pant leg slightly, revealing a brace. I installed safety bars in my shower because of my disability. He tightened his grip on the cane. She claimed I damaged the walls and demanded I pay her contractor to remove them. Victor's voice shook slightly. When I couldn't pay, she evicted me. Another long silence followed. I spent 8 months living out of my truck. Judge Lauren slowly turned toward Monica. Monica now looked pale. How many people? Judge Lauren asked quietly. No answer. How many veterans have you done this to? Still silence. And silence once again became its own confession. Judge Lauren slowly closed the folder in front of her. The sound echoed sharply across the room. "We will take one final recess." Monica's attorney immediately leaned toward her, whispering frantically. But Judge Lauren wasn't finished. "When this court reconvenes," her eyes locked directly onto Monica, "I will issue my judgment." A long pause followed, and Mrs. Hale. Her voice dropped lower. "I am also referring this matter to the State Attorney General's Office for Criminal Investigation." The courtroom exploded into stunned whispers. Judge Lauren never looked away from Monica. "Your days of exploiting veterans are over."